Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtakareshva Madreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavad Yutamashvake Bhaktir Bhavati Anashtiki. So, welcome to today's class. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Text 19.
18.
Oh, 18, sorry. Sure. Thank you for the opportunity letting me speak. Feel a little awkward among all of you, and a little excited, and unqualified, so please bless me that something useful is coming over my lips, and that I can speak for your satisfaction and pleasure of this very important day today, the beginning of the Kartik month here in Mumbai. Yeah. I repeat the verse and then we go line for line with repetition. Swamatu svinagatraya visrasta kabaras rajaha Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasi svabandhane. Swamatu svinagatraya
Swamatu Svinagatraya
Visrasta kavaras rajaha
Visrasta Kavaras Rajaha
Drishtva parishramam Krishna
Krishna
kripayasi svabandhane.
Kripayasi Svabandhane.
Swamatu Svinagatraya
Swamatu Svinagatraya
Vishrasta Kabaras Rajaha
Visrasta Kavaras Rajaha
Drishtva Parishramam Krishna
Visvarishamam Krishna
Kripayasi Svabandhane.
Kripayasi Svabandhane.
Swamatu Svinagatraya
Swamatu Svinagatraya
Visrasta Kavaras Raja
Visrasta Kavaras Rajaha
Visvaparisramam Krishna
Visvarishamam Krishna
Kripayasi Svabandhane.
Kripayasi Svabandhane. Swamatahu Svinagatraya Visrasta Kavarasrajaha
Visrasta Kavarasrajaha
Vristva Parishramam Krishna
Visrasta Krishna
Kripaya Svabandhane
Kripaya Svabandhane
Svamatu Svinagatraya
Svamatu Svinagatraya
Visrasta Kavarasraja
Visrasta Kavarasraja
Vishva Parishramam Krishna
Visva Parishramam Krishna
Kripaya Svabandhane
Kripaya Svabandhane
Mataji.
Svamatu Svinagatraya Visrasta Kavarasraja Visva Parishramam Krishna Kripaya Svabandhane.
Someone else with the Mataji? Oh. So word for word. Alright. Word for word translation. Svamatuhu.
Svamatuhu
Of his own mother,
of his own mother,
Krishna's mother, Yashoda Devi.
Krishna's mother, Yashoda Devi.
Svinagatrayaha.
Svinagatrayaha.
When Krishna saw his mother perspiring all over because of unnecessary labor.
Krishna saw his mother perspiring all over because of unnecessary
This
labor.
rasta
Visrasta
were falling down.
were falling down.
Kabara
Kabara
from her hair.
from her hair.
Srajaha
Srajaha,
of whom the flowers.
of whom the flowers.
Drishva
Dristva,
by seeing the condition of his mother.
by seeing the condition of his mother.
Parishramam. He could understand that she was now overworked and feeling fatigued.
Feeling fatigued.
Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Kripaya,
Kripaya,
by his causeless mercy
his causeless mercy
upon his devotee
on his devotee
and mother. Asid,
Asid, agreed,
Svabandhane, in
Swabandhane,
binding.
in binding him.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When child Krishna saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound. And before I continue reading, we have two translation groups here. I will speak in English, and there's Russian, yeah? And here we have French. So anyone who's not speaking English can take part in the translation groups. Purport. When Mother Yashoda and the other ladies finally saw that Krishna, although decorated with many bangles and other jeweled ornaments, could not be bound with all the ropes available in the house, they decided that Krishna was so fortunate that he could not be bound by any material condition. Thus, they gave up the idea of binding him. But in competition between Krishna and his devotee, Krishna sometimes agrees to be defeated. Thus, Krishna's internal energy, Yoga Maya, was brought to work, and Krishna agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai
Shri Gurave Namah.
Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swaparantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Rishabhanu Sutradevi Dharamani Haridrim
Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sadishna Amadina Madalina Kirtanya Sarahari Vanshakavalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Swastiastu Vishwasya Kala Prasidatam Dayantu Bhutani Shivamitu Diya Manascha Badram Bhajatat Adokshaje Aveshyatanno Matirapiya Haituki. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. So again the verse. Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When Shri Krishna saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound. So, Hare Krishna, and this is the verse for today's auspicious day of Kartik beginning. Very special month. I tried to read some texts I found on ISKCON Desire Tree before, and many wonderful things mentioned in regard to this month. And yeah, it's said that it's a wonderful opportunity to make an extra endeavor, to take up a special vow. It's very recommended in this month. Because traditionally in India, it's like the last month of the Chaturmasya, in which the holy sages in India, because of the rainy season, decided to stay at one place and not have pilgrimage, to deepen the spiritual practice. And thus take up special vows to satisfy Lord Krishna, and especially Lord Damodar. And I found something I want to read. It's very small, from the Hari Bhakti Vilas. You find it online, it's very nice to find. And it's just a short description, but anyone who's a little interested, it's very nice to read, because it's also commenting. Sanatana Goswami is commenting on the Damodar Ashtakam we sing every day in the temple. So Sanatana Goswami is commenting. O Brahmanas, during the month of Kartik, one should worship the deity of Sri Radha. To please Sri Radha, Lord Damodar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will be pleased with that worshipper. One should regularly recite the prayer called Damodar Ashtaka, which was spoken by Sanyavrata, which attracts Lord Damodar and which describes the worship of Lord Damodar. Yeah, this I only wanted to read. And then follows a very nice commentary on the Damodar Ashtaka. So, if you're interested, please look it up. Yeah, and what was also mentioned in ISKCON Desire Tree, quoting Padma Purana and Skanda Purana, was also to to be more simple in eating habits, to not eat so luxurious. And there was even mentioned that it's very auspicious even eating once in a day. That should bear a great benefit. But the most important is offering the ghee lamb to Lord Damodar. It said that all other sacrifices, like visiting holy places or bathing there or many other things, cannot compare with offering this ghee lamb. This has such tremendous effect on your devotion. And furthermore, also reciting and chanting this Damodar Ashtakam connects us with the Leela of Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna, and the essence of it, which is very important for our devotional life. Because as it was mentioned in the purport also, that Krishna cannot be bound by any material means. So whatever we try to manufacture to control him, to even become immortal or control the whole universe, it's impossible, and Krishna will defeat us. But if we render service to him, especially pure devotional service, then he is eternally in debt to us. And the purport says that Krishna sometimes agrees to be defeated. Like in this Leela, that Mother Yashoda, and in this verse, took such a hard labor, it said hard labor, that she was perspirating, that her whole body became weak, that tears were in her eyes, flowers falling off her hair, and that Damodar was so emotionally captivated by her endeavor that he decided, also out of love, to getting bound by her. So we can learn very much through this pastime, and connecting with it in the evening is something very enriching for our devotional practice. Also, in the month of Kartik, Diwali is celebrated, so the light festival where Lord Ramachandra was returning to Ayodhya after defeating Ravana. We just had this special day. And also Govardhan Puja takes place, the 2nd of November this year, where Giri Govardhan held up the mountain with one finger of his left hand, I guess, and rescued all the inhabitants from Vrindavan, from raging Indra, blinded by his arrogance. And it's especially there this month to take an additionally tapasya. And there are many ways to do, like it's recommended to read more, or to chant extra rounds, to, as I mentioned already, like to lower the eating habits. But I also found that devotees come to all kinds of interesting ideas what they could do in this Kartik, so it's also not only something very serious, it can also be something very funny. Also, I heard that many devotees also make funny vows, like never eating a banana anymore, or walking backwards to the temple every day. We don't do this, but we feel that because the atmosphere is so surcharged from the special endeavor, to make a hard labor, to make an extra endeavor to please Krishna, and that everyone is focused on that meditation, and everyone does something, it becomes more easy for us as well, and we have more faith to follow maybe something that has been before too uncomfortable for us to take up. So, if we haven't meditated upon, maybe today is the best day to decide for some special Kartik endeavor, some special vow to please Lord Damodar and to attract the mercy of Radharani. It's also said that Radharani is the prescribed deity of this month. And if we really want to please Lord Damodar, we shall please Radharani to attract him. And I wanted to connect this lecture also a little bit to book distribution, because it's what I'm doing. And yesterday I had a nice talk with Gopaswami, and he was mentioning that in past, like all the lectures were connected to three things. That's we are a soul, and we are in an eternal relationship with Krishna, and that's the conclusion of all the scriptures, and what we should do to please Guru and Gauranga is to go out and distribute books. And I found it also quite interesting. I just realized 1 month ago that Kartik is happening right before the Christmas marathon. Interesting, yeah? So one month we are training ourselves in an extra endeavor in meditating on the power and the magic of devotional service, that it's able to capture even Krishna. Like it is also said that Radharani is the only one who can attract Krishna. Like Krishna is so attractive that even Cupid is attracted by him, but Radharani is able, through her power of perfectly executing devotional service, even to attract Krishna himself. So we can, this is like a science. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yashchasmi tatvataha tatomam tatvatobhyatva vishate tat anantara. That we can only understand Krishna through devotional service. And by becoming realized through that devotional service, we become eligible to go back to the spiritual world. And Lord Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar, came as Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So he is showing, like no one else before, how to please Krishna as the perfect devotee. And he established this Yuga Dharma of Harinam Sankirtan, which was further expanded through the 6 Goswamis by writing bhakti literature and spreading the cult of bhakti more and more. And until the point that at some point it became possible to print and distribute these literatures in huge quantity. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta started with his first printing press and called it the Brihat Mridanga. So a way how the holy name can spread not only by oral repetition, by doing the classical process of Harinam Sankirtan, which should never be stopped, and which is a true Yuga Dharma, but also in the form of transcendental literature, and which is continuously going on preaching forever. Like even when the Harinam party sneaked around the corner and the sound of the drum is fading, like a book with Krishna literature, with the Maha Mantra inside, is preaching on and on and on. And so it's a divine arrangement, and we all know that Srila Prabhupada was taking this order of his Guru Maharaj especially heavy. He said that, I wish all that marble here in the temple, all my disciples are quarreling around because their only importance lies in who gets the best room. But finally I would love to take all the marble and sell it, and from that Lakshmi print books. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, if you ever get some Lakshmi, please print books. And he took it so important, he took it so close to his heart, and we all know what happened then is history, but the expanding and the flourishing of the Hare Krishna movement and rapidly distributing this ripened fruit of love of Godhead in such fast course of time is because he took it so seriously to write, to print, and to publish his books. And it's not so long ago where this was the highest priority, like to focus on that, and the effects were like really astonishing. Like it's said that the book distribution is also counting as Sankirtan Yagya. What means that it's like glorifying the glories of the Lord in association of others, and in a process which is able to engage a lot of souls and a lot of matter together, and that this is counting as a sacrifice. And Bhagavad Gita is teaching us that we have to perform sacrifices, otherwise Krishna is not happy, the demigods are not giving their benedictions that there is enough rainfall, enough sunshine, and more or less all disturbances we can witness nowadays are because there is not properly performed sacrifices on the earth. Yeah, so by contributing with that Sankirtan Yagya, we are able to satisfy the Lord, and engaging his energy properly, that the Yagya sacrifice circle is full. Am I too fast, Prabhu? Too fast? It's okay. I just saw you stopped translating. It's okay? Sorry. Okay.
I tried to catch
the essence.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, therefore we can create an auspicious atmosphere in the world where everyone is able to participate knowingly or unknowingly in devotional service. And yeah, it's so powerful that it's called Agyata Sukriti, that it's even though when someone doesn't know what he is doing, it's like compared to taking up the medicine. Yeah, like even though you don't know that you are taking a medicine, maybe hidden in a piece of bread or something, it will have its effect. The same if we engage people in chanting Hare Krishna, or dancing on the street, or giving a contribution to the devotees, then they are engaged in the Sankirtan Yagya, and they become highly appreciated by Radharani and Lord Krishna, and they are not any longer under karmic reactions, more than that they are already inspired in such a way and treated by circumstances that their path to devotional service and to the relationship to Krishna becomes fertilized and more fast. And the Sankirtan Yagya in form of the books, by distributing the literature, Krishna conscious literature, it's said that it's even more potent and able to engage matter than Harinam Sankirtan itself. Because for producing this literature, we have to get donations. Yeah, so we include a lot of material energy. Yeah, also in producing it, in storing it, in driving it around, in talking about it. Yeah, in having conversations about Krishna Katha, like right now. Yeah. So it's said that through this yagya, it's even more possible to create an auspicious activity where the activities are centered about pleasing Lord Hari. And we all know that ISKCON was a very fast developing movement, and that not everything was perfect, and many sannyasis fell down, and many temples were giving up, and many things, but if we witness just the activity of this book distribution, like in the presence of Srila Prabhupada and some special devotees like Tamal Krishna Goswami, who took it really serious. There was once a letter where Srila Prabhupada was talking to Tamal Krishna Goswami and explaining to him that these books are the essence of the movement. Without the books, we don't have any foundation. And he took it so seriously that he founded this traveling party, which was very successful. And HG Prabhu in the European zone, especially in Germany, took it also so seriously. And in due course of time, so many devotees were generated. So much Lakshmi was there. They even couldn't come behind in organizing how to deal with all that Lakshmi together with the laws of the city, because it was so enthusiastic, so rapidly growing, that one day they had the government before the door, and they found like huge bags of money paper, like bags of money paper in Schloss Rettershof, just because they were so absorbed in distributing books that they didn't care about how to manage it properly, that they pay some taxes for the government. And they built it very big temples and So more or less, if we try to observe, and try to understand what made these great devotees so successful, then we can see it was because they were sticking so close to the instruction of the spiritual master and taking it so strongly to the heart. We sing every morning, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. So we can please Krishna by pleasing the spiritual master. And when the spiritual master is pleased, Krishna automatically is pleased as well. And it's a very transformative service as well, and it's also a great austerity going out for books, but at the same time, because the austerity is so high, so many calamities like the weather, our bodily conditions, like accepting so many no's. Who would like to hear a no? No one? We all want to hear yes, yes, like we want something, and that the other responding with yes. But on the street distributing books, we have to confront ourselves so much with our false ego, with all our conceptions of being the controller and being the enjoyer, that we cannot continue this service as long as we shift our consciousness from this material and false ego to trying to satisfy Krishna. And more or less this brings us to sooner or later to pure devotional service, like anyabilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. So one should render pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. And Mother Yashoda is a role model for this devotional service, as we are instructed in later phases of devotional life that we become naturally drawn to an inhabitant of Vrindavan and to his devotional service. And Mother Yashoda is a perfect example for the Vatsalya ras, so parental affection. And she is even so absorbed in loving Krishna that she even forgets that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and is chasing him around to get him, to chastise him, because she lost him so much that she wants that something good is coming out of his baby boy. And yeah, so I want to read something from the Nectar of Book Distribution. I found it very nice. I found it this morning, and it should be something encouraging. It's from the chapter Training New Book Distributors. In the chapter, The Sign of a Healthy Temple is People Joining. Yeah, and I just heard that also New Mayapur was having not such an easy time in the past after Bhagavan Maharaj left. Yes. So yeah, maybe this is inspiring how to attract more devotees. It's a comment from Harikesh Swami. How do bhaktas come to the temple? They come through preaching programs. Therefore, many preaching programs should be arranged. 1 or 2 expert preachers can go around and attract people to visit the temple. The whole purpose of preaching programs is to make new devotees. And when new devotees are around, we should gradually bring them out on Sankirtan. When the Sankirtan party increases, we can have really successful Sankirtan. Therefore, the Sankirtan devotees have to cooperate with the preachers. If you meet someone who looks nice, I don't mean an old housewife with a bag of groceries. I mean a 17 to 25-year-old who isn't entangled yet with a family, house, job, and all of that. Get that person's address and make sure the preachers contact him or her. The Sankirtan devotees have to cooperate and collect addresses, even though it takes 5 minutes out of their distribution. It's worth it in the long run. One has to see every person as a potential devotee and gradually develop the base of devotees so that more and more Sankirtan can go on. This is essential, and everyone should be praying all the time to the Lord to increase the number of devotees. Haribo. Yeah, so this is especially meant for Sankirtan devotees. But as was so wonderfully explained to me yesterday, that also this woofing project is so nicely going on here. And wow, last morning we had like a seva meeting there, and Prabhu, who led the Guru Puja, he made also bhajan with them. And it was so ecstatic, and people who most probably, like, I don't know, would not have taken up to Krishna consciousness for a long time, just because they're interested in some farm work and some spirituality, have the opportunity to get in touch with Harinam Sankirtan, with the movement of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, love of Godhead so easily. And that it's already bearing great fruits, that people start to marry and move to the nearby city and come regularly to the temple and support the temple community. Yeah, so this is also preaching, this is also Sankirtan. Yeah, we should thrive for the highest if we can. Yeah, because we should be aware of the fact, hey, we now got this very valuable opportunity to take part in the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya, and there's no direct more service than preaching, than distributing books. But if it's too much or some material situation doesn't allow, we can partake in encouraging other devotees to do it, in supporting them, in carrying the books to the Sankirtan vans, in making funds for the Sankirtan devotees that they can give out books more easily. There are so many ways, and even if that is in what way ever not possible in our mind, like my Guru Maharaj, Kadamba Kanana Maharaj, used to say that if we want it or not, we are part of the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. So anyway, whatever we are doing in this association is for that own purpose, to preach the glories of the Lord and to spread it. Yeah. So even when we don't have developed yet the austerity and the desire to render the highest service. And Srila Prabhupada stressed in so many statements. I really recommend this book to every one of you. It said so often that everyone should take up book distribution. Everyone should try it. Everyone should give a book to his friends, family, to his working mates. Yeah, because it's so potent Krishna literature that it will spread like an explosion. It will spread more and more and more and more. What we already can see. And even when we are not doing it purposefully, because we still are attached to material sense enjoyment and philosophical speculation, and for some reason we can't surrender to that degree, we can have these wonderful programs like here in the temple with that devotees and try to befriend with them. They are every day here, this woofers, and they are so nice. They are coming to the programs. They are intelligent. They are curious, and they are coming by his own. We only have to give them association, and everything is like an invitation to purify our heart more and more, and to get rid of this propensity that we are envious, that we are in first way envious of Krishna to being God, that we are envious of other devotees, envious of their spiritual advancement. So let's get rid of that. It's the only thing that is stopping us from true satisfaction, true happiness. There's a very nice statement in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I can't quote it, but probably you can look it up. There it said we can only become happy if we are engaged for the highest welfare of all living beings. That's the only possibility to get true happiness. And Srila Prabhupada was saying, I just heard a lecture of Mahavishnu Swami where he was quoting that a devotee is always happy. If he is not happy, he is not a devotee yet. So if we are not happy yet in devotional service or in life in general, we should ask ourselves, why am I not a devotee yet? What is between me and Krishna? What takes me away of rendering service, of like Mother Yashoda, making hard labor, sweating, blood, sweat and tears, investing gallons of blood for the welfare of others. It may be a sacrifice, it may be a great austerity, but this will bring us finally true satisfaction. And this will lead us to the point that we get rid of our anarthas, of all these mentalities, all these doubts, all this but. So when I came to the temple, the most thing I was suffering of was my own self-centeredness. That is all the time about myself. So annoying. It's not giving pleasure at all. It's like really frustrating, and you're all the time smashed from Maya, kicked here and there. So the only thing that will bring us true freedom and true happiness is when we engage in the devotional service of the Lord. And the fastest way, like the highway, is going out. So please consider this in this month of Kartik. That it's about pleasing Radharani, and when Radharani is pleased, Krishna automatically is pleased. And there's a very nice story where it's about Radhakund Mataji. She's distributing for 40 years in Vrindavan books, and she was drawn, her attention was drawn to Babaji at the Radhakund, and he was seemingly very advanced, and she got attracted to him, and he told her, well, if you really want to attract the mercy of Radharani, please come now every day to the Radhakund and I give you a special mantra. Yeah, and you chant that mantra, and then you get the mercy of Radharani. So she followed, and she left the Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, and she moved to the Radhakund, and for some time she was practicing. But then Srila Prabhupada appeared in her dream, and she's telling the story that they were flying through the universe, and then they flew to. He invited her to come with him, and then they flew to the Radhakund, and they entered the Radhakund, and they entered all the rivers, and wow! And then she saw Prabhupada walking to his desk and distributing millions of books to conditioned souls, and all the souls were approaching him and were yelling, "Please, me! I need a book! I need a book!" And after some time, he was looking very grave and serious to her, and was asking, "Why don't you help me? Please help me! Yeah, there are so many, I cannot give every single one. Please help me!" Yeah. So forget all this nonsense. This is the heart of Radhakund, distributing books. Yeah, it's a wonderful story. I cannot tell it to the full degree, but I can share it with you if you're eager. It's a very nice story. And so she woke up from that dream, and she knew, wow, it felt so real. And from that day on, she left Radhakund, went back to the Krishna Balaram Mandir, and is since then distributing books for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, Gauranga, and the devotees. Yeah, so I also don't think that I would be able to sit here and give this lecture if I would not have taken up this service of book distribution so sincere. It was one of the first days in the temple. By the way, I also received a book from Srila Prabhupada on the street just before I was praying, the day before, to God. When I finally realized, it may be about God, you know. Maybe life's goal is some relation with God. I was listening many videos of Indian saints who said that we are only suffering due to disconnection of God, and then I said, okay, maybe it's about that. And I was praying the first time, "Dear God, please send me someone. I don't know how to get to know you. I'm really in despair." I also had, like so often, again, a life crisis in my life, and I prayed, please send me someone. I want to get to know you. And then a book distributor approached me and gave me a book. Actually, it were 5 books. And I read them. I read the Ishopanishad, but I was so covered at that time that I didn't understand anything from the Ishopanishad. But I read the biography of Prabhupada. And this was very heart-touching and enlivening. And I had so much faith that I was calling this monk, and I expressed to him that since a long time I have the desire to live in a spiritual community. Yeah, where people care for each other. Yeah, where they have the absolute knowledge, philosophy that is answering all life questions, like where I can only do things that make me really fun and satisfy me from within. And that where people which are good friends, who I really can relate to and who I would like to spend my whole life with. Yeah, so I went there, and when I arrived, after some weeks, I was asking him, how can I make the quickest advancement? And he said to me, go out and distribute books. Yeah. So it was my great fortune to get in contact with Srila Prabhupada's books, and so many, for sure, Mother Yashoda's means to satisfy Lord Krishna was to feed him with her breast milk and to treat him as her mother. But for us, still being here in the material world, if we want to inquire how could I give pleasure to Krishna, we find very clear answers in the books if we are really sincere and honest also. Like at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, no one is more dear to me than him who gives this knowledge to my devotees. And in Srila Prabhupada's books, especially so many quotes that please distribute books, please distribute books, please distribute books. Yeah, also this 3 times, like in this Harenam, 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 Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva, Kalo Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. Yeah, that there's no other way, no other way, no other way than chanting the holy name of the Lord. And yeah, if we follow in the footsteps of the Acharyas, and we are Rupa Nugas, yeah, so we follow Rupa Goswami, and we try to please Krishna in the same manner, then we also have to ask us, how can we please the Yuga avatar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yeah, and he especially is stressing this point. Yare dekatahekara Krishna upadesh, amara agyaya guru hanatara desh. So everyone you meet, instruct him with the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Try to deliver the whole country, like your whole nation, and thereby become a spiritual master yourself. So it's a very joyful process, susukam, happily practiced, and after 1.5-2 years of my book distribution, the tapasya was almost gone, and it was great ecstasy. Yeah, so it's a fast way to get purified, and I really recommend to you to make an extra endeavor, not only in this Kartik with a special vow and with attaining every day the program and singing for Damodar, but also to try to check out, to link with that magical service of book distribution and Harinam Sankirtan and going out with the devotees here. There's plenty of opportunities to connect with the temple in Paris and to Doyanitai Prabhu here in charge of the book distribution. You can also inquire from Janananda Maharaj about the organization of the Prabhupada Marathon this year, and I'm sure that if you have a sincere desire, there is a way how to participate for your capability, and therefore we have a great opportunity in due course of time to purify our heart and to really become very close to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada said, if you distribute my books till the end of your life, you are sure to go back to Godhead. Like he gave his stamp, like his promise. And wow, what could we else desire? Yeah, this is the essence, that we go back. Yeah, so thank you very much, and yeah, maybe short question. It's already 9 stories for talking so long. He was first. It's okay.
Prabhu,
Jason Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the lovely, inspiring class. Thank you so much. I've got a 2-part question. I'll try and keep it really quick.
Yeah.
First, do you have any tips and tricks for when you're first approaching somebody on the street to get their attention and to get them interested in taking a book? I know there's probably a whole art to that, but maybe if you could just say a few quick words. Second part of the question is, I imagine when you're out on the street, it's actually, it can maybe be difficult because Maya is right there, right? And I think there's a story, I think it's in Narada Bhakti Sutra about the monkey and the crocodile. You know, the monkey shouldn't go with his heart to when he's riding on the back of the crocodile, you know. So do you have any tips about avoiding getting your heart entangled with the crocodiles when you're out on the book distribution?
That's a nice one. Yo, so regarding your first question, you start where you are, and you don't have to manufacture something. It's not about being a great philosopher or a scholar when you aren't. Yeah, there's a nice story where someone, I guess it was even in France, like a homeless person, he just came somehow to the temple. He was completely like long beard and everything. He was taking so many drugs that he was uttering. He couldn't really spell words, but he wanted to. He was so grateful that he pushed himself in the temple. The devotees didn't want to have him, but Prabhupada was so merciful to him. And he was so grateful for Srila Prabhupada, and then he just stayed. He made every day, he was cleaning the floor And at some point the devotees went out for book distribution, and he stood there, like he couldn't even really talk at that moment. And they went out, and he took his whole bag full of books, and they were like, come on, what are you doing, you know, like you will never distribute a book. But then he came back after 20-25 minutes, and the bag was empty, and they were stuck in wonder, and they were like, how did you do it? Yeah, what did you do? And then he explained just, Prabhupada saved me. It was just like so simple and so honest and heart-touching. You don't have to, for sure mantras are quite nice to have an entrance, and when you are strong in mind, you are very mental, then it's good to have some kind of strategy at the beginning, but more or less after some time you are so drawn by the spiritual energy, you forget about all this, and you're just becoming more and more personal with the people. And these mantras lose their value because, yeah, and that's the magic actually, that you are just, try to be yourself. Hey, please, can I talk to you? Oh, I have here something, I'm coming from a temple actually, I have here a wonderful book, it changed my life. Please have a look at it. Simple, you know, you don't have to, and you shouldn't be so philosophical, because that's also not attracting to the people. But when you are like, just try to give, you're in the mood of giving, and it's not so important in the outer circumstances. There's not really like rules or good to do this or that. That was my personal realization. It's more about the meditation, the connection with Prabhupada and the service, and like for sure you can always advance in details, like getting better and better, and how to treat people differently, how to give books when they even don't want, or how get a donation, or everything is possible. Like you can also, develop in that. But if that is not there, all the rest is useless. You know, like. Is that okay for the first question?
Great. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
And the other one is that my realization was that Maya is everywhere, also here in the temple, you know, like here's also the sex attraction and pitfalls and attachments to the body and so many things. But the devotional service gives you protection. Like if you are in connection with Krishna, and outside it's even better because you have such a great contrast, you know. Like there you can really see the fallen conditioned souls. They can really, it was like a breathing for me. Like when I went out or in the temple, it was like exhaling and inhaling. Yeah, after some time you get fried from the devotees in the temple, you see only the fault in them, and you are not valuing them anymore. Yeah, prasad, everyday prasad, oh I only take the sweets, you know, like everything becomes... but then you go out and you see, my God, nobody has here Krishna Prasad, yeah, and they are looking also unhappy and all in grey and dark and brown colors and no dancing, no valuable lectures, everything is so gross, and that's where you develop compassion, and you can value more and more and then you are more and more, at the beginning at least, when you're not so transcendental, you get more entangled with and your anarthas pop up, and everything is more gross, and then it is a great opportunity to grow, because it brings up what is anyway there, yeah. But sometimes it can be too much for the mind, and then you're desiring again the association of the devotees, because it was so pleasant atmosphere in the temple, and they were so kind, yeah. And then you also realize, wow, by so much association with the people, you also become a little bit rude and animalistic, and then you go back and wow, it's so amazing, and every time the deities shine more when you go back. Yeah, it's like this. But then you develop again the taste, wow, it's so great here, but what is that of a value when the majority of the people are suffering like hell outside, and we all go down if we don't give this what we have here to the others. Yeah, so for me, it was always a great shelter, Sankirtan. It's not like that. It's that you go down there because it's. For sure, you can, as long as you are not attached to the service. As long as you try to distribute the books when you are out, and you try to have this as your center that you want to preach and you want to connect the people, you are always sheltered. You know, most probably sheltered, more sheltered as in the temple itself. That is also what many book distributors, like Manida Prabhu, is talking a lot about that in this book. And you also learn how to deal with the people, you know, because after the 6th or 7th fanatic Christ, you know how to that you're not spending so much energy in useless stuff, or how to treat the innocent, how to treat demons, how to treat, you know, like then you actually, and when you're reading the Bhagavad Gita, like everything you read, every advice, every tool you can apply to book distribution. It's like a wonder, you know, like all this being not attached from the result, and how the modes are working. So you become a really like a practiced scholar of this divine science just by this service. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Huh?
Sign me up.
Okay. Jai. Jai. Nice. Is it okay?
Very nice,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu, just one small correction.
Yeah, please.
Mentioning that Janananda Maharaj organizing marathon, but actually Maharaj wants to be as less as possible involved in organizing marathon. It's Rasikananda Das. Maharaj especially inviting for this service, so he will be organizing the marathon. So everyone who wants to sign up for a marathon, please don't approach Maharaj, please approach Rasikananda Das.
Oh, that was important. Thank you, Prabhu. sorry for speculating.
Could you just repeat?
Oh yeah. So I was falsely claiming that Janananda Maharaj is organizing the marathon, and he organized that Rasikananda is doing it. So please don't jump on Maharaj. He has many engagements to expand book distribution in a different way, and approach Rasikananda Prabhu if you want to be part of this year's book distribution marathon. Yeah. Prabhu?
I would like to mention that one concern by elder devotees who are distributing books but who are not going so much into the streets.
Yeah.
But we are concerned what we are doing with the people we are meeting in the streets. Are they reading the books when they take, or are they putting them in the shelves? So there is a nice program started in England by Keshara Swami called Thin Guitar and making circles. So what we'll make now is we'll make some leaflets with some QR code, so that the people, when they get book, they get also an invitation if you want to approach this literature, which is very nice, and you can reach this group. And on the website there will be many languages where they can connect to some circle who are studying Bhagavad Gita together. And this studying is not made that you have to become a devotee in a temple immediately. It's how you can apply this millennium wisdom into your day-to-day life. And it's very inspiring because it's very good for everyone. Personally, I'm taking care of one of those circles, and those persons, they are coming from elsewhere, and now they are just speaking like devotees. They are chanting at the end of every session the Maha Mantra. And yesterday it was amazing. We were on the 13th chapter, and Keshara Maharaj is explaining. He's showing slides where you have a wall and a door. And he explains this door is the door of the spiritual world. So you have two options. And I give you these two options, you will choose between those two. First one, you get whatever you want in this life, it will be very wonderful, and then at the end of this life, you go to this door to the spiritual sky. And second option, you go directly to the spiritual sky to this door. I was amazed. 100% of them said, second option, we want to go to the spiritual sky immediately. Generally, we are, I can fulfill my desire and then I will go to the spiritual sky. That's super. No, after 13 chapter, it's 26 weeks, they are already there.
Wow.
So it is very inspiring because it was missing this bridge between getting a book in the street and becoming gradually inspired to become more and more engaged in devotion. So it's
amazing for me.
Jai.
Very nice.
So if you have any contacts person, you don't know how to bring them closer, and you can invite them in the temple, but also you can invite them to some circle. There is in many languages now. It is called Circle Tingita. They just subscribe and they can connect it with somebody who will guide them gradually in this way.
Make sure we've got leaflets for those then. Huh?
Yes, we are. It's in the process.
Jai.
Oh, nice. Okay. So thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Kartik Mas ki
Jai.
Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki